Yo, what's up? Welcome. Hi, man. I hope you're doing well. Yo, JCTM, what's up? I'm gonna wait here until a few people are in here. Okay, welcome. So from yesterday, if you watched yesterday's stream, we did have the buy-side liquidity up here. This one. And we were studying price inside the MOC macro. Right after the earnings, it did drop once more into a PM session first presentation. This one here, this CB. And then from there, it did trade, in fact, into the buy-side liquidity and stopped there and went into consolidation. So, like I said, studied that over the overnight session or London Open session, and we directly had it after the 4 p.m. close. So the initial draw was correct. Everything as I had as a bias was correct in this PM session. Yo, JC, what's up? Yeah, so we did trade down into the daily volume imbalance here. That is the gray box with the 8s. We do have both sides open, so I'm gonna wait, and we have 10 a.m. news. I'm not gonna stream for too long today. I'm feeling a little bit sick, so my voice is going down. But we do have the sell side liquidity down here and the buy side up here. Good to hear, man. So if you look at the weekly profile, we did have the Tuesday high of the week. So I did trade there, went into retracement, into discount arrays. Yeah, maybe too much shisha, but usually I smoke a lot, so yeah, but no shisha today. Yeah. So we have the volume imbalance here from the daily chart, and if we only look at the weekly profile, we can see a Thursday low of the week, especially because we are trading inside these discount arrays. It can easily trade through it, and we have a rejection block down here from the daily chart. That would be the next discount array. Look at the This, come on. Okay, it's more than 120 handles. Okay, so the sell side is reached. You can easily just drop and continue into those daily levels. Okay, the open range gap in here, a little bit darker. Yeah, so the indices compared to like every single one of them, Dow Jones is definitely the one that is the strongest right now. If it's able to reach back into the open range gap quadrant, then I like to see a run into the buy side. Otherwise, we might just see it go lower here. So I'm gonna wait for 10 a.m. and then 10:30, and 10 minutes after 10:30, probably I'm gonna end the stream for today. So 1 hour, 1 hour or 1 hour and 20 minutes, something like that. But if it's going lower again today, then we might have a really nice TGIF setup for tomorrow. So the midpoint here is hit. Exactly to the tick. So yeah, we do have 10 a.m. high impact news. And then at 7 p.m. we have Trump speaking. So that is why I only want to see the AM session and trade until 10:30. This busy here. 15 seconds. With a 8 level from the volume balance. We do have a CB here. That's not the first presentation. I want to see a run above that for longs. Okay, so we are targeting the buy side up here. And if we reach into the, let's take the open range gap here. Put in the quadrants, the 8s. Okay, so the buy side here is rated. We probably leave a first presentation here. And on the 15 seconds, this one would have been a really nice one. 140 handles in that small move here. So the volatility is very crazy. Okay, we have first presentation here. Trading this might have a really large stop. So that would be 70 handles as a stop loss. That's a lot. If the 5 seconds give me the yeah, still is not perfect, but I will try that. Back into the open range gap. Usually the fill should be here. There's a pretty large stop loss in, like, if you trade on the 15 seconds. I'm gonna lower the risk here. Yeah, that's what I wanna see. I'm gonna make it risk free here. Let's see on the 1 minute real quick where that open range gap midpoint is. This one. That's 90 handles. So we're already up. I'm gonna close it here. A nice scalp. Very nice. Based on the 5 seconds. How much handles did we make? Back to the old sales liquidity here. So that is what I targeted basically. So 75 handles. 75 handles in only, how much did it take? 50 seconds. So that is what patient gives you. If you are patient, and as I said yesterday in the PM session, patient is everything. And you don't need a full move back into the open range gap or something, especially in the volatility days like these, where you have a 1 minute candle being like 80 handles or something. You have to be nimble, you have to be quick. You should know what you're doing and looking for. So very nice. Volume balance from the daily chart, the 50%, just below the sell side. Inversion for value gap here. Coupled with the first presentation. This would have been a pretty large stop here. If you don't trade micros, then this would be way too much. So I was waiting for the 5 seconds and got the normal entry. So I'm gonna study the rest for the buy side here and stay until 10 AM and then a few minutes after 10 AM. It's a really, really nice scalp here. And this is what I meant yesterday. Like, I want to see, I'm a liquidity trader. So I'm only looking at equal highs, equal lows. These give me my highest probability setups. So almost reached the opening range gap midpoint here. Watch the quadrant or 8 level in this case. So it ranged around that old size liquidity pool. So that old size liquidity pool here, that green line is from, I think, daily chart somewhere. Yeah, this one here. So an old low, basically. I did spend a lot of time watching ICT, learning the concepts, studying the charts. I think I watched like 5,000, 6,000 hours of content and repeated that over and over again. Then I spent a lot of time in the charts, just backtesting in old data, in the 1 minute, 15 seconds, 5 seconds. And I was only studying the specific candles, basically. First of all, time, and then the candles, how they behave. And I was reading the candles here, how they behave. Because a lot of things, like for example, reading order flow correctly is something a lot of traders are missing, in my opinion. They know what to look for when it comes to an entry, but they don't know what to look for when it comes to reading the candles one by one. And I think that is something that ICT wants to reach as well and show the community. But that's definitely very hard and needs a lot of time. But I do have a lot of trade breakdowns inside the VIP room where you can see all my thought processes in those trades. So yeah, we are up 65 handles here. And above that buy-side liquidity, we have a new day opening gap. How to backtest and collect data to find a model instead of cherry picking the perfect setups. You have to begin with cherry picking the perfect setups in hindsight data to understand what the best setups look like, right? And it has to be like this. And how to know if the model you want backtest trade works. Yeah, so basically it's not a shame to go through hindsight data. I would say replay on TradingView is also something you can use. I never used it, but I was always a fan of looking at hindsight data and just studying that. Look at what price did, where it's coming from, where liquidity is resting, and try to pick first your best setups and understand them correctly and understand when they don't work. So if, for example, there's a sign for your trade model and you think that's it and you can just enter, but you're missing some pieces around that. That is why hindsight data is so good for it, you know? Because in this trade setup in here, there are so many things around that I'm aware of. I can't get into that in here. That would be way too much, and that's more like for the VIP room. But there are so many things around that make my setup the best probability setups in the day, and I'm looking for only that and be done with that. A scalper doesn't mean directly that you scalp every single minute or something, try to catch every single move. If you want to be a professional scalper, I would say you look for the best setups, and going through hindsight data, it shows you these correct things. Yeah, but we had a really nice trade here on the 5 seconds. Busy, 65 handles. Very nice. Very clean. Finally, some clean price action here, with waiting a liquidity pool before we go into the opposing side. So I'm only waiting for 10 AM news here, and then I'm done. And these are the setups I want to take in the $1,000 challenge. Yeah, I have to be very nimble, because one stop loss can already be 10 to 20% of that account. So if I'm not nimble, and then if I'm not aware of what price is doing, then it's really, really high risk. But these kind of setups are the ones I want. I'm on a, by the way, I think I showed it a few times. This is a challenge account, just a basic challenge account. So this one's almost done. I want to continue with live funds once we have better price action. For example, like this again. So maybe in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And see how slow it becomes here. I mean, you can still find continuation up to the buy side up here, but this quick move back into the sell side, into the open range gap midpoint, is all you need. So it's ranging around that midpoint. The buy side is way too clean for me. And the indicators here for the key levels and also for the essentials like the midnight opening range and everything, they're currently available on the, if you go into the description, I think there's the link for the VIP room. If you then click on the PatekFynnip button, basically, you can see every single thing I have, and also there are the indicators. But I will announce it in the Discord as well. The bad thing is, usually I like to draw them manually, but when it comes to quadrants and eights and everything, you can just put it in here automatically and can adjust everything like you want. Even the first presentations, you can put in the quadrants and eights. See them here then. So that is basically the link for the indicators. And we are going to put more into them, especially the ICT essentials. Yeah, it's already available. It's already available. And for the essentials, we do have the midnight opening price, of course, midnight opening range, the Asia range, the previous day high and lows. And we will include way more. We will also include the session fair value gaps, stuff like that. Yeah, especially the key levels here. That is, I'm in love with that. Even though I like to draw everything manually, especially when it comes to new week opening gaps. But now you can just put the coordinates, 8s, everything just like that. I love it. Okay, we have news in 8 minutes. I would say the exit was pretty nice here. Seeing this range now at the open range gap midpoint. Okay, so it's ranging right before the 10 a.m. news. And we do have the 7 p.m. Trump speaking news as well. So if 10 a.m. is doing nothing, then the whole day, the rest of the day might be a mess. See how the highs are jagged in here now. Okay, 4 more minutes. Full time, I would say 5 to 6 years, something around that. So I began like trading full time in 2020. But I did study a lot of retail trading before that, before I became profitable with ICT. I would say without that knowledge, it would have taken a little bit longer. What do you mean by that? Like, also 2020. Like, trading became my full-time job in 2020. In my free time, I usually play a lot of poker. Other than that, I do calisthenics and look at the charts, basically. Addicted to charts. Studying. Yeah. I also travel a lot. I like traveling. So it's back in the first presentation here, right before the news. So what is a great decision to take the trade out here at the old sell side and not leaving it for the buy side here. I think 6 years. I began in 2014 or 15. So when I was 14, 15, I began trading retail. Lost a lot of money, but I stick to it and never quit. And then 2019, I was studying ICT concepts, and then it got like pretty fast. Because I understood that I'd have to trade against retail trading. If I didn't have that switch, then it would probably take like 2 or 3 more years. Okay, 30 seconds here. Yeah, 3 years like is still in the early beginnings, I would say. People expect like they are profitable in like the first year or something. It's definitely doable if you understand trading in a retail way or something before that. Because then you can just switch around your mind, like switch your concepts and just trade against the overall like majority of trading. Sorry for the notifications. Still had Telegram on. So yeah, 3 years still in the beginning. Especially if you want to be a professional trader, like trading with live accounts and not only the the prop firm accounts, then you should do like more than 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so we did wait for the 10 a.m. news. Yeah, we had a nice trade here, 65 handles based on a 5 seconds time frame. Nothing to do though. It probably just goes even lower into this rejection block down here on the daily chart. And we do have drum speaking in the PM session. So that's it for me. Be very nimble. Many payouts, but still wouldn't say I'm consistent. Yeah, the thing is like many people just like buy a lot of accounts and blow them, and then they have payouts, but they are not sure how many they spend. So you should do like some accounting on that. Look on how many money you spent on those accounts, how many payouts you had, and try to get all the payouts into a live account. Live accounts are so much better. I mean, look at Apex. They just said you cannot trade metals, silver, gold, not because it's too volatile. I mean, NASDAQ is more volatile than metals, right? They just don't want to lose too much money, right? A lot of people are profitable with that. They're just shorting it or buying it and then hold it, and that's it. My live account size, like my private, I keep that private. But I want to do a $1,000 challenge on YouTube. I'm trading mostly with MyFynnip futures. I like them. I mean, this account here where I took the trade here is also MyFynnip futures. It's a challenge account. So this one's only for like the YouTube streams, and the $1,000 challenge on a live account I will start in 2 weeks or 3. Yeah, so MyFynnip futures I would say is good. Tradify is kind of good. Okay, what broker? Ninja Trader and AMP. AMP Live and Ninja Trader are best for futures in my opinion. I never had issues. Their live accounts are pretty good. $1K to whatever I have to go to, right? So I try to get it up to whatever amount. I do like Top Step, or I did like Top Step, but once they changed it to Top Step X and everything, they had a lot of issues. You couldn't close your trades, you could not do anything. So I always preach live accounts are the way to go. I understand that most people don't have that money to start with a live account, so prop firms might be the best case there. But if you have a job and you can save money a little bit, try to start with a live account. And just trade one micro. Like it's another side hustle, right? So yeah, that's it for me. The buy side here is still intact. We did have a really nice long entry here towards the opening range gap midpoint. 65 handles, I'm calling it today, and I hope you learned something. Yeah, so to make it full-time, I would say you have to have like 10K, 20K to then maybe quit your job, but I wouldn't recommend that. But if you build it up to 50K or something, you could consider quitting your job, but you have to be aware of that you need still payouts, like paying you out from the live account to make a living out of it. So yeah. But I will go more into live accounts when I start the challenge, and explain what you should do when you trade live accounts. But if you start as a side hustle, 1K or 2K for futures is good enough. So yeah, that's it for me. I wish you a great day. I go off now and relax a little bit. I will be back tomorrow in the AM session, and let's see if we have a TGF set up there. So yeah, see you. Bye bye.